not that she was ever serious upon this point. And I mention the matter at all for no better reason than that it happens just now to be remembered. Pluto, this was the cat's name, was my favorite pet and playmate. I alone fed him, and he attended me wherever I went about the house. It was even with difficulty that I could prevent him from following me through the streets. Our friendship lasted in this matter for several years, during which my general temperament and character, through the instrumentality of the fiend intemperance, had, I blush to confess it, experienced a radical alteration for the worse. I grew, day by day, more moody, more irritable, more regardless of the feelings of others. I suffered myself to use intemperate language to my wife. At length, I even offered her personal violence. My pets, of course, were made to feel a change in my disposition. I not only neglected, but ill-used them. For Pluto, however, I still retained sufficient regard to restrain me from maltreating him, as I made no scruple of maltreating the rabbits, the monkey, or even the dog, when, by accident or through affection, they came in my way. But my disease grew upon me, for what disease is like alcohol? And at length even Pluto, who has now become old, and consequently somewhat peevish, even Pluto began to experience the effects of my ill temper. One night, returning home, much intoxicated from one of my hunts about town, I fancied the cat avoided my presence, as I him, when, in his fright at my violence, he flicked a slight wound upon my hand with his teeth. The fury of a demon instantly possessed me. I knew myself no longer. My original soul seemed at once to take its flight from my body, and a more than fiendish malevolence generated, thrilled, a very fibre of my frame. I took from my waistcoat pocket a penknife, opened it. It grasped the poor beast by the throat, and the levarity cut one of its eyes from the socket. I blush, I burn, I shudder, while I pen damnable atrocity. When reason returning with the morning, when I had slept off the fumes of the night's debauch, I experienced a sentiment half of horror, half of remorse, for the crime of which I had been guilty. But it was a beast, a feeble, an equivocal feeling, and the soul remaining untouched. I again plunged into excess, and soon drowned in wine all memory of the deed. In the meantime, the cat slowly recovered. The socket of the lost eye presented, it is true, a frightful appearance, but he no longer appeared to suffer any pain. He went about the house as usual, but, as might be expected, flew in extreme terror at my approach. I had so much of my old heart left, as to be at first grieved by its even dislike of the part of a creature which had once so loved me. But this feeling soon gave place to irritation, and then came, as if to final and irrevocable overthrow, the spirit of perverseness. Of this spirit, philosophy takes no account. Yet I'm not more sure that my soul lives than I am that perverseness is one of the primitive impulses of the human heart, one of the indivisible primary faculties or sentiments which give direction to the character of man. Who has not, 100 times, found myself committing a vile or a stupid action, for no other reason than because he knows he should not? Have we not a perpetual inclination in the teeth